Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna do a little cringy intro, okay? Um so today we watch
Gay.
today we finish watching the Apothecary Diaries, right? Um
Yeah.
we just finished it and I kinda wanted to do a recap. I want Star to be here. I watched it with my friends, Star and Light. And I want Star to be here because she has a better memory than me. She's probably gonna remember all the details that I forgot. So that's kinda what I wanted you here. Um
I'll try.
And I wanted to talk about the whole experience of watching the anime because initially I kind of hated it, but then I started to like it, and then overall, when I finished it, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, this was, this was like my choice that we ended up choosing and things like that. Because I always found this, like, when because obviously we started watching this just before season two ended, if I remember correctly. But I remember watching season one and I was like, this was well before season two had even been announced and stuff. And I just like blew right through it. And I was like, damn, this actually is pretty interesting, kind of like with how it ties all together because it is a mystery series. Although there's not too much mystery to it and you do get kind of some of the answers, but it's like all of these small little threads and the episodic nature of it. You wouldn't really think that there was a higher kind of like overarching plot, but there is, and that's, I don't know. I was really kind of like surprised about it. I don't usually watch mystery shows, but I really kind of like wanted to kind of like share the experience with others. And then I found out Light had watched it and he enjoyed it too. So I'm glad that you gave it a shot. Even though that you complained about it, I was like, I understand. It's not for everybody. And I was really impressed that you ended up getting actually that quite engaged with it and stuck with us and actually came to like it in the end.
Well, at least the thing is for me, I tend to be pretty blunt. If I don't like something, I say I hate this, but I shouldn't be taken too seriously because if I really hate something, I'm just not gonna watch it. But if I'm sticking around, it's because I do like it. Even if I do have my complaints or I'm just like I like being a little bit shitty, I guess. I'm a little bit of a jerk. But even when I complain about the anime, I still liked it. And overall, I still liked it. And at the beginning, it took me a while to get into the pace of the show because it's very slow pace. And like you said, it's like a murder mystery. It's not. It is murder because everybody gets poisoned. But it's like it's like a detective show in a way. You know what I mean? It did get at the beginning. My only reference to this kind of shows is Detective Conan and probably Scooby Doo. Stuff like that. Uh, so I'm
I've only seen Scooby Doo. I have not seen Detective Conan.
right. So I don't have a lot of reference when it comes to this genre of anime. So it took me a little while to get into the pace of it because it was very slow paced. But once I did, uh, I liked it, and I think the thing that hooked me in was Mao Mao. Is she's such a like what's the word that I'm
She's
looking
an
for?
interesting character.
She's a very
She's
competent.
peculiar.
She's a very competent character. That's what I like about her. She's not one of those MC main characters in anime that's just clueless. She's like the opposite. She knows too much. She's too like she's so well prepared. Like she's a doctor. She's a detective. She's like a cook. She's like a drug dealer. She's everything, bro. She can be everything that she wants in life. Like she has like a lot of knowledge about a lot of things. You know what I mean? Um,
I think her having like a lot of knowledge is more of because of the circumstances of how she was raised. I think as well. I think another reason about Mao Mao is she's a good, strong female character, but without being super OP. You know, like she still gets like slapped around. She still gets yelled at. Still gets like faces punishment, but she's still such a strong kind of like character that it doesn't feel kind of like cheesy. Because I was find essentially with like a lot of like super OP characters, they can fall into this kind of like monotonous kind of box. I always find, like because they're just like super OP and things like that, that it's a kind of an issue and things like that. You know, like I, cause I think maybe this is just comes maybe from like the show that it comes from, but I always find like, you know, she's suited for her circumstances. I think, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say for me, I think is regarding what you're saying of her being too OP. I think that's contrasted by the fact of like the setting itself because in this palace, which is a horrible palace, I hate this palace. I hate the way they treat women in this whole show. Honestly, they're so subjugated, right? So this era, Mama being a female, she's also subjugated to the treatment of this era. You know what I mean? And that kind of like counterbalances her being too OP. Like she's very the thing that saves her is that it's her brain. She's super smart. It's not her physical abilities, right? Because when you think about anime characters being OP, you usually think it's because of their physical abilities. You know, like Luffy or somebody like that, or like Ichigo, right? They're OP in the sense that they're super strong, but they're not very smart, right? But Mama is the opposite. Mama is super smart, but she's not physically strong. You know what I mean? Neither can she go against the current prejudice of the era on how they treat women. So she's kind of subjugated to her little small role, and she does whatever she can in that little role that she has. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
so in that way, that counter.
I think.
My bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can. No, no, no. Go ahead.
No, it's, like I said, I think that counterbalances her being too OP because it's the setting that she's in and how everybody treats women in this show, which is goddamn awful, bro. Like this emperor has a bunch of wives there, just standing around waiting for him to visit them, so he can have a baby with them or something.
You're. This is like pretty kind of like typical standard for like China's because I've seen like quite a few of them and I've read about them quite a few times. I will admit though, like Mao Mao has a lot more kind of power than someone in her position, and that's mainly due to the fact that she has kind of like sneaked herself into high ranking pockets. So she has a bit more leeway than anyone like usually in her position. As it was stated um earlier on in well later on in season 2 that women are not allowed to practice medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Mama still does it, you know? She still does it. She still goes and attends the doctor's office. And the high-ranking concubines knows she's doing medicine. And even the emperor himself knows that he's doing medicine. And even though, like, even though, like, traditionally she should be, like, arrested for it, but because she's so high rank, because she has, like, such good friends in high ranking places and she has such a unique set of skills that the emperor kind of like has given her a little pass. And I think and it's like it's a big kind of joke in the fandom and things like that, that the reason why Mao Mao has such a pass, why the emperor doesn't really kind of like stick his nose into Mao Mao's business too much and allows her to get away with practicing medicine, it's due to the fact of him and of her like teaching the concubines sexual acts. And after Mao Mao taught the concubine sexual acts, he's had a lot more of a pleasurable time with his concubine. So he's like, shit, you know, maybe I should give her a pass. And that's like a big kind of like joke in the
I
community,
get it.
and
Makes sense
I
now.
kind of think that that's true.
Um, light. Okay, yeah, light. Type in general, so I can. You can type whatever you want. The emperor does give her a pass. He says, okay. Um, you know what, Star is because I think she did what a lot of people. How do I say this? Um, the one that kind of gave her Master Jinshi, right? He's the one. He's the one that
Mm.
first saw value in her. And the thing with Mama is she's so intelligent that he started to rely on her. The thing is, she became indispensable. her knowledge became indispensable, and that's why she got allowed. She had a pass to do all those things because they figured, hey, this girl knows what she's doing, and she's actually way smarter than all of us, way more competent than all of us. So she could be an asset to us, and we can still. She's still subjugated to them because she's still basically a slave, right? But they can use her.
Yeah.
Can use her.
Well, she used to be a slave. She's not. She's not really that much anymore. One of the interesting parts is with Lee Haku, is that he was a low-ranking kind of like official and things like that, a soldier, and but because of Mao Mao helping him figure out the cause behind the explosion of the food warehouse in season 1, she kind of like helped him figure out, and so it gave him a leg up to go and start kind of like showcasing his skills. And then because he was like treated like he was a bit more, oh, this guy actually knows what he's doing kind of thing. Um, he was given like a lot more opportunities and things like that. And then afterwards, he just kind of like it was that kind of like little foothold by solving that case with Mao Mao, kind of like allowed him to continue stepping up and get a higher ranking position, so much so that we saw him in the finale of season 2 as part of being as being a part of the royal guards, which means that he's like definitely climbed up the totem pole enough to be declared, oh shit, this guy is actually pretty good. Because I think,
Yeah, yeah.
and that was like,
And it's obviously because he's a male, and then during that era, males would get rewarded like that, while females wouldn't get rewarded like that. So Mao Mao, even though she basically solved every freaking murder in that castle, she basically solved every mystery in that castle. She didn't get like a promotion or anything. I guess the only promotion that she got is like you said, Master Jin. She kind of took her, and he's like, "Hey, listen, you're gonna be working for me now, cause goddamn, you're smart. Also, I kind of want to have sex with you." In a weird way because god damn it, bro. This Master Jinchi is kind of, I like him, but he's also a little bit rapey. I don't know. It's weird the relationship that they have. You know.
the thing is, at the end of the day, like, um, if Mama really hated him so much, I think she would have definitely have done more to kind of like push him away. But the thing is, she has like some kind of inclination towards him. We like as it was stated by Mamo at the end, she didn't know whether Shisui slash Lowland was her friend, but when she got the letter from Shaolan, talking about Shisui, you know, internally she knew that Lowland was her friend, but she didn't recognize it because, as she stated earlier, she doesn't understand the connections to people very well
Yeah,
due to how she grew up.
yeah, that's very true. She doesn't recognize what like friendship is, what love is, what I like. She kind of does hint because throughout the series she does hint that Jinshi is a handsome guy, and you can she kind of drops hints that okay, I could get with this dude, but at the same time, every time something's about to happen, she's like, no, 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 this is too much, overwhelming, overwhelming. So it's not, it doesn't feel very consensual on her part. But it's like you said, it's because she's
I
not used
think
to it. She's not used to those kind of relationships.
one
She's
of the things
artistic
as
queen.
well,
Goddamn, bro. She's artistic, okay? Artistic, not artistic.
I mean, to be honest, the entire of the Lee clan, no, the entire of the La clan is kind of in that weird kind of aspect, honestly. You know?
Um,
He didn't have that much of a role in the show and things like that. But Mao Mao's cousin, um, Lahan, no,
I think it is Lahan.
Laku? No, no,
are you talking about
no.
the
Because you have Lacan, which is his dad,
right?
which is her dad,
And
and then
Lahan
it's
would
her
be her
cousin,
brother.
which is
Wouldn't Lahan be her like brother
La something.
or like her brother?
No, no, no. Well, yeah, it is Lahan, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mr. Numbers guy. I'm gonna have to double look.
he's the guy. Yeah, he's the guy with the glasses, which is the son of Lakan. And I think that was
Yeah, he's the adoptive son of Lacan, and but is technically Lacan's nephew.
oh, okay. So I guess it is her cousin. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's her cousin, but adoptive brother as well.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Um, but it's like he is obsessed with numbers. He says that he will like one of the things that he says in the light novel is that he will only marry a woman who has perfect numbers. You know,
Okay.
and it's like, why are those perfect numbers? I don't know. It's those numbers are like between him and God, but it's like he is obsessed with numbers, you know.
Yeah.
And then like he even makes a comment about he goes away and make comments about how on Jinchi about how his numbers are so perfect and it would have been better if he was born a woman, you know? If he was born a woman, he'd marry her and marry him. I think he said something like that.
He did say something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, and so you could.
It.
It's hard to go in and say.
He feels very similar to Lakan in the sense that Lagan was only interested in one girl is because she was good at that chess. It's not chess. I forgot what.
Go and oh, there was Go and, as you said, the chess game. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, he only is interested with that girl because she plays that game really well. So I guess Lahan is kind of similar in that aspect. That they're looking for something of like a specific value in women um, from that era. Like I said, I don't like shogi. There you go, shogi.
Shogi. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't like. I really didn't like how women were treated in this anime. I hate it. I hated that palette so much, bro. Because that,
It's it's very accurate to the time period.
yeah, but it's so depressing that women get treated that way. They're like just it's like a little horror room. It's like a little horror palace of like these ladies that are just waiting there for the emperor. And then to make it even worse, okay, this guy is bad. The current emperor is pretty bad for keeping all those women there hostage basically until he needs to get some. But the previous emperor is even worse, like the pedo emperor, which is a big part of the story. You know what I mean? That guy, bro, I was like, what? They're introducing like a Michael Jackson emperor into this show. It was so weird. I mean,
I think
it fits the story of the show really well, though.
uh, it is politics. It is a huge amount of politics kind of things like that. I think the previous emperor, whatever the fuck his name was, I'm gonna have to look that up. But it's definitely he definitely faced severe issues due to his mother, and I think he became kind of like frightened because of that. But I don't think he's ever named actually. The former emperor.
Yeah, but you were saying you were saying earlier that this show does a good job at like setting up little tidbits that eventually are gonna complete the whole story. And I
Mm.
have to agree with that because in through season one and through season two, you see some stories, and you get some inklings of how the overall story is gonna wrap up at the end. And they did that really well in the show. You wouldn't see it coming. That all of those little things that happen in those individual episodes are gonna tie up in some big way at the end, and it did, and it was very fulfilling. They did it in a very good way. You know what I mean? And you didn't see it coming. It didn't feel that predictable or anything like that. So the overall arching plot of the story, they constructed it in a very good way. You know what I mean? While at the same time, kind of addressing the every mystery as an individual mystery. So it has both. It has both aspects to the story. It works as a standalone episode, but it also works as an overarching episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think essentially there's a lot of bad people in this time period, which they do for politics. I mean, not much has changed, honestly, unfortunately. But it's definitely, you definitely see the good aspects of it as well, because because one of the things that I really kind of like appreciated, but this is more in season one, was the fact of there was a small kind of like thing about childless mothers supporting mothers, children without mothers. Essentially, you saw that with concubine Ado and lady. What was her name?
Don't ask me. I'm very bad with names. That's why you're in here.
It's she's the youngest concubine as well. I've forgotten her name. You know the thing is the problem that I always find essentially is that I remember people's faces more than their names.
No, you can just tell me if
Oh, it's Lee Shu. It's Lee Shu.
if you don't
You
remember
know?
if you don't remember her particular name, you can just tell me her character archetype, and I know you're talking about that little girl that never got best.
Yes, I am talking about the little girl,
Yeah,
and then it's like because there was a lot of like scenes of Lady Ado, kind of like comforting Li Shu, and it's like it was done because she herself couldn't wasn't allowed her child,
right,
you know,
right, yeah.
because of multiple reasons, honestly. Um, and then another thing as well with in season one was you had Lady Li Hua, which is the blue-haired, large-bosomed concubine.
Yeah, like favorite,
But like,
like favorite.
but you had there was a scene with her just comforting Mama while Mama was asleep because you know, and I kind of like that, you know, and it's like Lady Liwa, despite even though that Mama technically, well, initially belonged to Lady Gyoko, and then to Jinchi, like she's Lady Liwa still wanted to kind of like protect Mao Mao and help her.
Yeah,
And it's like I really appreciate it, and I like that theming of season one, essentially, you know, because both of the mothers kind of like lost their children, and you had both of these children who had no mothers and had to just kind of deal with the fact that they were brought to the palace against their own will, because Leishu definitely was, you know, Jesus Christ, her father died in a whole horrible pit, you know, and the fact that she's getting bullied by her like servant, her supposed servants, just kind of like makes things even more terrible for her.
you
She's
know,
definitely
in a weird way, it makes sense. Okay, first of all, talking about Lishu herself, I felt really sorry for her because she basically became a concubine because of the last emperor because he was into little girls like that. But the current emperor is not into little girls, thankfully. At least he has that going for him. Um, but yeah, she was basically put there because the last emperor had a taste for young girls, right? But
mm,
her being so young and the other servants around her having nothing better to do, and really they didn't respect how young she was and how naive she was, it would make sense they would take advantage of that in a realistic way.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's good. It's not a good thing to do. But I can see that
It's
I can see that happening in a realistic way because she's so young and she's so innocent and naive that she just kind of gets roped along to do whatever because she doesn't have like the mental fortitude or the maturity to deal with all that. And it's also weird that she's looked down upon because the emperor doesn't visit her, so she's kind of like there, not fulfilling her role. Her role is awful in the
yeah.
first place. That all the roles of the concubines are pretty awful. They're just there waiting until the emperor visits them, and it doesn't. And the show doesn't even portray that the emperor loves them or he values them. They really feel like girls that are just waiting for him to be used. And she doesn't fulfill her that role. Thank God, you know. But at the same time, they look down on her because of that. I
I
really
mean, at the moment when we met her in season one, she was 14 years old, which is just kind of already disappointing because she had already spent, if I remember correctly, 6, 7 years uh at the palace as a concubine. You know, I I can't. The thing is, as well, or rather, I think I think he did love Adwell at least more than the rest,
okay.
and it's only due to her poor circumstances that
Remind me who
you
Adwell
know.
is. Is she the pink hair one?
She's the one who looks like she's Jinchi's biological mother. She looks very like him.
Okay, I don't think I remember her that well.
Yeah, this is the reason why I've got like the wiki up to go in like get the photos for you
Yes, yes.
because I did not expect you to honestly
I mean, I see. I mean,
because
I admitted it. That's the whole reason that I wanted you here because you remember all this shit. I don't. Uh,
but like one of the funny things was like in this season she
oh, I heard.
pretended to be Master Jinchi briefly, you know, during a conversation between um, Lakan and the general
Wait.
Shunmei.
I could be confused. Is this the lady that was dancing with the butterflies?
No.
God damn it! Oh, they look too much alike. Who's that other lady that was
No, no,
dancing
no.
with the picking
It was
box?
Jinchi was the one who ended up dancing with the
I know,
butterflies.
but the
This
original
is his
one. But
mother.
the original one that did it was her.
Oh, the original
Oh no, it was the lady from the brothel,
one.
right?
Hmm?
It was the lady from the brothel, or like an old lady that they bring
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. It was the lady from the brothel.
Right. I remember now.
She was the original one, and then it was like 50 years later
Yeah.
did Jinchi go into the dance,
Right. Yeah, I remember now.
and it's I do like I'm saying like even though the thing is like the emperor kept Aldo around for 18 years, even though that she was actually no 19 years, even though that she was no 18. I think 18's right actually, but he kept her around even though she couldn't birth him another child because of the emperor didn't want to let her go, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like I do think he at least had some type of love to Lady Adol.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. Yeah, but when it comes to all the other girls that are waiting, like I don't know their names, dude. The pink hair.
I mean, it isn't confirmed about how many concubines he has, but it is like there is like different tiers to it and things like that. I mean, in one of the earlier episodes, there was the sleepwalking concubine episode, and she was a middle ranked concubine, you know. And she doesn't fully matter too much, but she failed her dance, so the emperor wouldn't visit her. So she saved her chastity, and it's like, eventually she was let go as a reward, and it's like, it turns out they did it deliberately, and it's like, you know,
You know,
It,
to be honest, at least with me, we watched this whole show, but the thing with us, we have like a little anime club thing that we watch. Each week we watch at least 4 episodes. So this took a long time. This took a long time to get through the whole series. So for me, I don't particularly remember every mystery that she solved. I kind of remember the overall plot of it, right?
yeah.
So that sleepwalking thing. Now that you reminded me, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Like I forgot about it. And there's some stuff that I do remember. This like though most of the mysteries were a blur to me. Like 80% of them were poison. The culprit was poison.
This
Somebody got
was this
poisoned.
was for like 48 episodes, you know?
Yeah, but there were weeks that we couldn't watch mainly
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
some of them were me. Um, but yeah, the thing is like
Majority of them are
I
you.
know. Okay. Um, the thing is everybody got killed through poison, and poison. Mau Mau is like Mau Mau has a poison fetish. She really does. So she's like a. I remember like everything. Okay, so she died. I'm like, it's probably poison. And then the other person died. Oh, it's probably poison. And oh, the makeup. The
Yeah.
makeup was poison too. Everything was poison, bro.
The thing is, though, like, it was, the makeup at the time period was made of mercury and lead. And that was how it could got so white. So, obviously, as we both know, both of those being very poisonous materials,
Yeah.
you know,
I
it is what it is, kind of
yeah.
thing. It's not like you can really do much about
I mean,
that.
people.
Can you guys hear me?
Mau So I swear to God, Mau Mau has internet. I swear to God that Mau Mau has a laptop and she can access the internet and she can access the lead Wikipedia because she knows all this shit already. She's like, oh, you're using lead, bro? Don't you know that's bad? And then there were like a thing about abortions, like they were trying to cause ladies to abort. There was like this whole drama, soap opera drama, inside that castle, with women and all the concubines and stuff, and it got interesting. And I would say this, I would say this for myself, okay? Um, I would say I'm the kind of person that I don't know what I'm gonna like until I like it. I have my expectations, my predispositions to what I like. For example, I like shonen anime because they has a lot of action, right? It has a lot of fighting, and since the show didn't have that, initially I was predisposed to not liking it. But then after I got into the groove of it, I'm like, okay, this show is actually better because it doesn't have any of that. You know what I mean?
I think what didn't kind of like was the shocking thing is I think we went from Chainsaw Man directly to this,
Right. True.
if I remember correctly, which is Chainsaw Man being a very action packed show. I think, I think it's like understandable why such a sudden kind of drastic kind of shift of like it being slower
Right.
would be a bit of a shock to the system, but that was another reason why I wanted to choose it, was because I wanted kind of like a nice kind of not an action packed kind of thing. Though I will admit, and I will ask you and things that, how did you enjoy the finale of season 2? Because we had just finished it.
I I cried a little bit. I didn't full on cry. There's anime that have made me cry more than this. But at the end of it,
So you did cry. You admit it.
oh my God, Light is here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm just here for a little bit, man. Just a little bit.
What's
Okay.
up, buddy?
I thought I'd just hop in for a little bit.
I
I'm
think
good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, buddy? It's been a long time since we talked. Your voice got
Long time.
deeper.
Yeah,
What the
man.
fuck, bro? Why is your voice deep now? Are you black now? Okay, I'm gonna
Is it
cut that
deep?
part out. No. Um.
Dude, I'm speaking in my earphones, okay? So this mic is kind of iffy.
No, bro. You sound good. You sound kind of sexy, actually.
You sound good.
Yeah. You sound boy. You
Alright.
sound like what the hell? Um.
I'm just here for a little bit, okay? Just I was making food, so like I hop in for a couple of minutes or so. But, yo, I mean, yeah, I was just listening in, and I agree for a lot of things you guys said, right? I just want to confirm. What was your favorite concubine at the end of the day? I mean, it had to be Lauren, right?
Like
After
the
all
one
that.
with the fan service. Hey, which girl did you want to fuck the most?
I mean, Listen, Liaku has the fan service, but I think Lolan at the end, you know, she took the,
You had a lot more
she was the
development,
best by the end. I think
story
she won our
wise and
hearts.
narrative wise.
Yeah, I mean, she was like the stoic character at the start. You didn't know. I mean, she didn't even speak. You didn't ever heard her speak once. And turns out she was this. She had this incredible backstory. It was just an amazing character, I'd say.
She's a good character.
And we all love Mao Mao though, right? We understand. But apart from Mao
Mm.
Mao, I think she was probably the second best. I would say.
For me, I didn't particularly have a crush on any other girls. But I would say in terms of like
No, man.
I would say in terms of being like a good character, I would say Mao Mao was definitely the top one, and I would say
I
Shisui.
mean,
I would say Shisui was pretty
yeah.
cool too. Um,
I mean, I like Lihaku. Sorry, the blue-haired concubine, but her personality were her big assets, right? That was her entire personality. Um, she did have some moments, but yeah, I'm struggling to think of too many characters. Jinshi, obviously, but yeah,
The
it's
thing
just
is,
like
the show is a bit too episodic to go in fully latch onto a character because you only maybe see them for like that one episode or something, or if you do see them for multiple episodes, it's not a lot of information to
mhm.
go on.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I did like all the characters. It's not like I look at this one character, so I really hated that guy. Unless the show was like, the show wanted you to hate a specific character. Like the show really wanted you to hate Chen Mei, Lolan's mother, right? They really wanted you to dislike her.
I liked her.
Um,
She was base, bro. She was having orgies.
okay,
She was like P
all
Diddy. She was like P Diddy, but like the female version. She was watching people have sex. She was slapping people all around. I liked her. She was like a good villain. Like for real.
yeah, I mean, she was a bitch, bro. Okay, let's be real. Okay, yeah,
She was a bitch. I'm just like laughing at the sheer fact that Godless probably wants to get slapped around by a
dude,
woman.
she watched people have sex. She didn't indulge in herself. I mean, I don't know, bro. And she fucking I think she beat the kids as well. I mean, she was just she's one of the
She did
characters
beat
where
the
you see.
kids.
She's so base,
Yeah,
bro.
she was just
She's
her
the best
purpose.
character, probably. Okay, I take it back. She's the best character. Mama was second, and then Shisui, and then what is the name of the servant girl? Lulan, Luhan, the one that got away in the end.
Shaolan.
Yeah,
I
I
think
liked
right.
her. She was
Yeah,
cute and she was adorable. She
she
was
was
nice.
cute. Yeah, she was cute. I mean, as a character, she fulfilled her purpose. We were supposed to hate her, and I guess in that sense, she was a good character as well. I mean, the point is, I really like the characters in the show as well, right? It's not just the story. It's not just how Mao Mao and Jinchi and all the other characters. It's just the way they developed as well throughout the show as well. Although I will say, I mean, can you guys really say Mama developed a lot towards the end? She was kind of the same start to finish. She's got a long way to go ahead in terms of character development, I'd say.
I think she definitely didn't change too much, though I think she did change in the aspect of she did start to appreciate other people being around her a lot more, essentially. But yeah, you are right in that she didn't
Yeah, I
change
mean,
overall too much,
if you guys
but
remember, towards the end, she was like, "I don't usually care for people, but for Lowland, I shouldn't get involved, but I want to like reach out to her, right?" That was like I think the most, as I was a key point I remember in terms of her character developing, right? She was always a solo person with lone wolf, right? But in this particular case, she was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I just want to grab onto her. I don't want to lose her. And
I mean, that's full on what Mamo says about Shaolan is that she says at one point that she only became friends with Shaolan to go in and get gossip and only didn't really she only started talking
yeah,
to Shaolan to get gossip, but then eventually came to care for Shaolan over
she
time, and
did.
it's like
I agree with that.
No, she
shit, an emotional a person who struggles with their emotions finally reaching out and connecting with other people. I don't know. It's a nice thing, but it's
I mean, I
definitely
said it right. She's
something that
autistic.
takes.
She can't communicate with people, right? But she does realize the value of communicating over time. I think, right?
you know what?
It
Um,
is also like essentially because she, like, with the relationships being the way that it is, like growing up in a brothel, everything is a very impersonal
Oh yeah, that's
relationship, you
important as
know?
well. She
Like
grew up in a
people
brothel.
are constantly,
Yeah.
like, one of the key aspects about brothels of the time was the fact that if people put down enough money, if men put down enough money, they could buy the concert. So technically speaking, any person that Mama got close to in the courtesan house could be bought out at any given moment to the highest bidder. You know, granted, of course, Mama's grandmother didn't really do that too much. The madam didn't really sell too many, but you know, of the time that was quite traditional. So I wouldn't be
Well,
surprised
I
if
would
that
correct
did
that and
happen.
saying that I think the selling still occurs, but it's just the high ranking, the ones we see, right, are the four big
Yeah,
ones, or the three big ones, right? They're the ones, what?
Pyrian,
Byron,
Pyrian, Joka, and
Goka, and Meme, right?
Mimi. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yo,
they're the ones we see on screen.
you know what? I would say
Yeah.
you guys are talking about. You guys mentioned that you didn't see a lot of. Well, you did see Mama change a little bit, and I would say another scene that I think reflects her change is right at the very end, where the what's the name of the guy? Oh my God, I forgot the guy, the guy, the Bill Cosby guy, Master Jinshi. Okay,
This dude,
You
this is
forgot a
awful
major
fucking show. How
character's
can you
name.
forget it?
I
He's, he's,
forget
the, he's
about
the
it.
second main character.
Shut up.
Oh
Okay,
my god,
so the
bro.
scene at
I
the
could
Tiger
understand it if, like, you forgot his, like, prince name, you know.
okay, so at the end,
Yeah, go ahead.
the last scene when he's about to grope her again, sexually assault her again for the last time.
Okay.
Okay, shut up. Let me finish. At the last time, he just kind of holds her, and he's just kind of sleeping in her lap, and I think that reflects too how she's changed. Now she's very comfortable with him, and you can
Okay,
say,
okay, seriously, on this subject though, I do agree he is a little bit too aggressive
I
on her. I will
know
say that.
he is.
I mean,
It's
in all
definitely. I
seriousness,
think it. I think it is also partially also developed in the way of
it's because they're close, right? So it's presented like it's okay between them, right?
it is, but it's
But
really
looking
not.
at
And I
it,
think
yeah, objectively, it's just you're like, yeah, bro, calm down, right? Relax.
I
Let's just take it
I
down a couple of
understand
notches.
his reasonings for it, but I also agree that it is very kind of thingy because
No, he
anytime that he
bit her.
wanted something,
It was like so casual. He bit her. Like he actually took a chunk out of her flesh.
Bro,
you
Mama
know.
likes that shit. Mama's hardcore. She's into drinking poison. She was gonna cut her finger off, bro. Right before he came in,
You know,
she
Oh
was
yeah,
gonna cut
yeah,
her own
that's
finger
true.
to experiment.
I mean,
That's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
the
Cheese
whole
snakes.
point essentially as well. The thing is, the two of them are very unorthodox because the whole reason that Jinchi gets involved and is intrigued by Mawa in the first place is because she's not like the other women of the rear palace
Oh
in
yeah,
that
of
she
course,
doesn't
of course.
fawn over his looks and she just sees it as something else, and it's like
Yeah, you quite
he's
clearly
very intrigued
understand it.
about it initially, and then there's a key moment where Mamo just kind of like glares at him all the time and things like that, and he makes a comment saying she looked at me as if I was a disgusting bug with a
Yeah,
smile and a blush on
that's
his
at the
face.
beginning. That's
Like
at the beginning.
he's down he's and that was like at the beginning part of the
I know.
anime.
I
That
know,
was in season 1, you
bro.
know?
No,
Like
He's
the
like
dude is
you know,
down bad.
you know what? You know what?
he's like that guy, right? Who's
Like
like, yeah, every chick falls for me. I'll smile, and this girl fall in love with me, and then this one girl comes along, right? Who I smile at her, she fucking hated me, and no matter what I do, I can't charm this girl, and that's like, in terms of anime, romance anime especially, is like
No, you know what? Um,
kind of a common
yeah.
trope, but
you
yeah,
know
that's
what?
why he likes her so much. It's because he can't get her, and he views her as a personal toy. By the way, that's also want to add that as well.
I do
That's
want.
probably why he's so aggressive against her as well, because you're
I
my
think
toy.
the thing is as well, like the way he grew up of like of both his nanny constantly and his nanny
Yes,
and
that's what I was gonna say.
his
I
son
was.
both saying essentially like any time
Yeah,
that he had like a favorite
Yep.
thing, both of them would take it away from him. I
yeah, they
think like I'm
explained it.
saying
They
he
explained
is.
it.
I think the I'm not trying to defend him too much because sometimes it can be a bit way too much and things like that. But I
Hey, listen,
also
hey,
understand
listen, Star.
the reasons behind his behavior because
We
it.
we didn't make this anime. Okay, it's not your fault. He's that way. Okay, you know, you. I understand. I was actually gonna bring up that same thing that you brought up. It's because his upbringing. He used to get like a favorite toy and then get obsessed with it, and then they would take it away, and that also plays out why he wants Mao Mao so much because he really can't have her the way that
Yeah,
he
I mean,
wants
I'm just
to.
analyzing. That's just his character, right? So there's two sides to the coin. One, there's this thing where he views her as his she's more than just a personal toy for me, and then as a result, he becomes a little more aggressive towards her, towards the end, especially. I think because you must remember, right? When Mama gets kidnapped, it's been a while since you've seen her. Like it's been like a few months, maybe even a year. You can double correct me on this, Star. But I think it's been a long time, so he misses her a lot. So when he sees her again, this dude is like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna leave you again," and I'm gonna make sure I do something a little more than just a hug this time. So yeah,
Bro, at the end, at the literal end, no, when they're in the, I forgot where it was. The thing is, she hugged her, and that this guy had like a full on erection.
he got an erection.
Bro,
Yeah, he got
I
an
think.
erection.
his eyes,
I think.
he turned into a rapist. I swear to God, I saw rape in his eyes, bro. Like I saw
I
it.
think what I think what doesn't really kind of like I think the reason why he bit her, especially where he did, was because when he found her at the Shi clan fort, was that she had a mark there that was done by Lowland's mother.
Oh, okay.
And it was like somebody had already marked her there, so so even though that you could no longer see it, he wanted to kind of like leave his own mark on her.
I get it.
Bro was obsessive. Bro was really obsessive.
You know what? I want to wrap it up because I don't want the video to be too long. So let's all go individually, talk about the overall show, and give it a rating. You can start light because I think you have the
Okay,
least
so
time.
I gave the show. Okay, I'm just gonna be real. I give it a 10 out of 10. Okay,
Oh
when I
my
first
God, you're
watched it,
so
second
stupid.
time, yeah,
How
I
would
did.
you
I
say
did.
this is
Listen,
not a
listen,
10? Why? It's not a 10, bro. It's really good,
listen.
but it's not a
Hear me
10.
out. Hear me out. Okay, in this genre, you're never gonna watch a better show than this. You're just not gonna. It's not Chainsaw Man. It's not One Piece. Okay, for this genre, I think this is the best possible show you can do. That's why and I've never seen a better show than this. And for an ancient setting, that's why I gave it a 10. Okay, and I love the way it all wrapped up. And it's a unique show, bro. I mean, you look at the anime these days, it's just isekai slop. Like 80% of the anime these days are like isekai slop, and then there's a few good ones, right? This was like a really good breath of fresh air for me. That's why when I first watched it, I was like, wow. Especially the way things started, that's why I gave it a 10. But rewatching it now obviously doesn't hit the same as the first time, right? So I probably give it like an 8 out of 10 on the second watch. You can take it as what you want, right? It's two ratings, but I'll settle with a 10. I think it might be a little bit inflated, but bro, it's fine. It's just a rating. I'll give
No,
it a
that's
10.
fine, bro. If that's your individual opinion. Okay, what about you, Star?
Um, Counting my like rankings for both season one and season two, I gave it a 92 out of 100
God damn, you guys are so biased.
score
That's completely
wise.
fair. I mean,
You
yeah.
know, I gave it. So I guess like simplifying it, it's a 9 out of 10.
It's a thing with me as well, right?
Would I change it? I would. I guess personally, I would put it at like an 8.5 out of 10. Like looking at the entire kind of like
Yeah, I
both.
mean that's probably the most fair score, 8.5 to 9. Right.
Yeah, because the thing. I will admit, like a lot, I was very engaged with it, and I full on like binged this when I watched this like part of the solo and things like that. I like
Yeah,
I'm saying I did watch season two's finale with you, so I had no idea what was going to happen with season two finale.
because bear in
Am
mind,
I?
we did
Am
watch it over
I?
a period of 4 months, right? If we watched this alone, perhaps it would have been a different pace. We would have watched
Yeah,
that, right?
exactly.
I think that affects the score as well a little bit.
It does. I think it does. I am kind of like comfortable saying either 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Because I there are parts of it where I am just kind of like I didn't
It is
really
a bit slow
like it,
sometimes.
you
For me,
know.
it's a bit slow
It
sometimes
is.
in some parts.
But
It,
Some of the filler episodes, right, is one-off ones. I so yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead,
I
Sean.
get it, and it's like some of the ones where I don't like how they wrapped it up. You know, is it nice that Shisui slash Lodan lived?
no,
Kind of, but
Yeah.
no,
I kind of
no.
wish she had
That I
died.
would. She had to die because if they bring her back, all that impact that she had with her death is gone. That's the thing. That's
I
what they should
mean,
have just
Yeah.
I
died.
mean, she's dead
Yeah.
narratively. Essentially, like she's not going back. I mean, she made a comment about going beyond the sea, so she's definitely not going to stay in the kingdom anymore. So we're probably never going to. She's never like mentioned after this point in the light novels. I don't think. But I don't know
Well,
if I
No, no,
don't
no,
know if I
oh,
bro,
that's
wanted her to die or not.
information.
This is not even a hot take. She should have stayed dead, and the kids should have been stayed dead too. I don't care about any of these people. They should have stayed dead for the impact
Well,
of
I
it.
actually agree with you. I actually agree with
They
you.
should
I
have
think it
stayed
would
there
have
for the
left a more
impact of
bigger
it.
impact. I was surprised she survived.
Yeah, no,
I was surprised.
even the kids, they should have died too. They
Yeah,
should have
I
been
mean,
there.
yeah, sure. I would have agreed there as well. I thought, I mean, when I watched it the first time, I was quite surprised that both survived. Like, okay, so both the kids and she survived. Okay, I mean, that does lessen the impact a little bit for me. And, well, slight spoiler, I do think she, and when speaking for light novels, I think she might be involved in the story again at some point. I've heard, okay,
I mean, she's
I'm
a
not
good
saying this is
character.
a spoiler.
She's a good character. I'm not gonna lie, she's a good character, and it's a good character to even keep around. But like I said, it diminishes the impact that it had. That
It
death
did,
of him.
it did. No, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of like the whole kind of like I'm kind of like or like debating of like how I feel about it because when season 1 ended, I knew that there was going to be there was season 2 in production, so I didn't think too deeply about how season 1 ended. But now that we're kind of like left here, just kind of like as it is, you know, I don't know. It's a hard kind of thing. Supposedly there is going to be like a season 3,
I'm down
which
for
is
it.
going to be
I'm down.
which you know I am willing to go in to do, but it is also just a case of like I'm conflicted. You know, the thing is I do think I'd put it. It's not going to be my favorite show. That's the problem. Is that I think this is my problem that I'm having. Is it's never going to be my favorite show, but I don't. But I think it's too good of a show to kind of like toss to the side. You
You know
know,
what? You know
I
what?
just kind of get lost in the kind of like sea of like other anime out there. You know.
You know what? Star. I would agree with what Light said. For the genre the show is, it's probably the best show that I've seen in this genre. It's not like you said. It's not the best show that I've seen. It's not but in this genre, it's probably the best show that I've seen in this genre so far. And mind you, I don't have a lot of experience in this genre either.
We need to watch more mystery shows to go in and figure out if we like it or not. Time to start the 20-year journey of watching all of Detective Conan.
I, I would say this to give my rating and wrap everything up. I would say that Shisui being alive after all, I didn't like it, but at the same time, it didn't ruin the whole experience of the show. It was disappointing a little bit, but it didn't really ruin the show. To that, it didn't have that. You know what I mean? It didn't really ruin it at the end of it. It's just kind of like a forced happy ending a little bit. But my overall thoughts on the show is like the show is very good, and I'm surprised because like I said at the beginning, I thought I was too slow paced. I wanted more action, and now after I finished the show, because at the end they had a battle, right? Remember the battle at the end? At the end where they were fighting each other and killing with swords. I'm like, at this point, I don't need this. I don't need action in the show. The show is intriguing enough without people killing each other with knives and shit. Like I don't need to see blood. This I don't want it. Which is the thing that I wanted in the beginning. But I got so used to the pace of the show that I'm like, bro, this show is good as it is. It doesn't need to have more action or anything like that. It doesn't need to be a
I'm
shonen.
glad you enjoyed it in the end.
Yeah, of course. And overall, the show has many layers. The story is very well told. It has a lot of layers in terms of dealing with like the motifs of like trauma, the stuff that they go through. It's a very layered show. It's very good. It all ties overall in the plot line in the end. Mama is a great character. She's a very likable, charismatic character. Um, Light was saying that she was not good at interacting with people. I disagree. Even though she doesn't know how to appreciate people that much. I think the way she interacts with people is very cool.
She's good at like professional relationships.
Yeah,
She's good at reacting to people professionally. She's not good at reacting to people in a
In terms of
personal
personal
setting,
level,
though.
on a personal level, yeah, I didn't mean that in like every aspect. Just like just making friends and etc. Personally, she's not good.
yeah. I do think she struggles with acknowledging her feelings, how she feels with people and all that. But I do think she interacts with people in a very social way. And I think almost everybody liked Mama. I think, except for the ones that were like, "Bro, you're too nosy. You're kind of sticking your nose in everything." Um, but I would say for me, the
That
show.
was you.
Because she was, bro. It's
That
none
one
of your
was you, bro.
business. Okay? She doesn't need to be solving mysteries. She don't get paid for that shit. Okay? She doesn't need to be solving mysteries. She's nosy. Okay? Um,
Yeah,
But she
she is.
wants to, and
What
she
would
solves
be
most
your
of the time.
ranking in the end, Godless?
my ranking would
6 out of 10
be
predicting.
no, it's a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, close enough.
It's a good show. I mean, for me to give it a 7.5, it's above average. It's kind of way above average. I listen. My rating. I'm pretty harsh with my ratings. I never give anything a 10 out of 10. The best things that I like, I give it an 8 out of 10 because I just judge things like I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, because you're so stuck up, you can't give anything more than
No,
an 8. We get
no.
it. Okay.
I'm not a hype kind of person. I don't overhype shit like you, bro. A 10 out of 10. Are you kidding me? Okay.
I just rate things highly, which I like. That's all.
You are a
I don't.
hype
I'm
beast.
not.
Okay. You're a hype beast. Okay. That's your problem.
When I like things, I rate them highly. I mean, why not, bro? Why should I be like uh, timid about it if I like a show? I mean, I'm gonna give it a high rating. That's all. And I don't want to give shows 10 out of 10, right? Like it's like not all the time you watch a 10 out of 10 shows. I'm like, if you know what, for this one, I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, for me, it's a 7.5 out of 10. And for Star, it was a 9 out of 10 or 8.
8.5/9. I guess 9 would be like is the kind of like average of like both season 1 and season 2. It would be around about a 9.
I would say this, though. I would recommend this show. And I would recommend it to people, and I would say, listen, watch it. It's kind of slow paced, but after you get into it,
Slower.
it's like Light said, you gotta let it cook for a little bit. After you do that, it's a good show, and it's a good experience to see the show. And if they drop a season 3, I'm down to watch it. Honestly.
Oh yeah, about that season 3 plus movie next year. So we're probably gonna be revisiting this show next year anyway.